Hey, what is up YouTube? This is Haidar. Thank you very much for coming back to my channel, Growthnetics.com. And today we're going to be talking about the 3 things you need to do today so you can prep for the next recession. We all know that the recession is overdue by a lot, and there's a ton of analytics and tool and data that backs that claim up. So I want to do this video today to help you be more proactive, so when a recession comes in, you're a lot better prepared. So let's get started. So the number 1 tip that goes to it is save money. And it could be very tricky for a lot of people just because it's a wide topic and you could keep on hearing from different internet. But the tip that I want to tell you about saving money is, first you got to break it down to what? Understanding what's the difference between what you want versus what you need. Okay, there's a big difference here, and a lot of people mix these 2 things, which is crucial and critical if you're ever going to try to save some money to be prepared for a recession. So what is the difference between need and want? Okay, so I'll give you an example. I need to eat food in order to survive. I want to go to Red Lobster to eat, I don't know, crab meat or lobster tail or whatever, right? I want to go eat steak at a Longhorn Steakhouse, right? So that's the difference between need and want. For example, I need a car to go to my work or to do the transportation. Okay, I want a Mercedes-Benz. I want an Audi. I need a place to live. I want a 5-bedroom for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house, right? That's what I want, but it's not necessarily what I need. So once you understand what's the difference between want and need, now you gotta take care of the spending on what you want, because what you want is most likely are things that are variable costs, not fixed. And the difference is like it says, is that you got your fixed costs, which is your electric bill, your water bill, your allocated time budget for food, rent, and all that stuff that you absolutely must have in order to go on your daily task without having, you need a heater and all that stuff. Variable costs are the things that you don't necessarily need, and you have it as maybe entertainment or as an extra upgrade on something that you have on service-wise, or products that you buy on a weekly or a monthly basis. So you want to cut down from the variable costs first. And a great indicator to actually look at that is to ask yourself, okay, put in your expenses every month on a budget sheet, and that's going to help you have a slight better vision on or indication on what are the things that you probably need to not spend money on. For example, if you're a type of individual that probably goes to watch movies every week, well, maybe you should need to start cutting down on that and do it as a rewarding system rather than just kind of like a must system. Or meaning, like, if you do something extremely well this week and you want to reward yourself, go ahead and go to the movies. But if you really failed and all that stuff, make it as like, well, because I didn't meet the goal I wanted, or because I didn't finish X project or anything like that, I'm not gonna go to the movies. I'll wait on it to the next time I'm actually done with a project. Another thing too as well, if you have for me, phones are a necessity nowadays, but if you have a plan that is $100, that's where the necessity versus fixed costs versus variable costs tend to change. Because if you really think about it, I mean, you got your phone bill that you need, again, and you want unlimited data, you want unlimited text messages and phone calls all over the world, right? So these are things that you want. You probably want to cut down on these. If you have a phone bill is like $100 or $80 a month, you could definitely cut down on that. The gym membership, you don't really need to go to a fancy gym if you're trying to work out. The Planet Fitness, which is the most common kind of gym, is pretty popular and is accessible in most states, depending on your location and where you're located in. But their membership, basic membership, I mean, is like what, $25-$30 a month, and that can give you all access around the state. Now, if you don't travel, you do have like $10 membership, and trust me, this is not a sponsorship by Planet Fitness. I mean, like I'm too early for me to do that, and if it was, I would tell you straight up from the beginning of the video. So basically what you want to understand is this, like, again, like if you're the type of individual, I think most people spend money on rent, and then you have your car payments, and then you have your food allocation. So if you're the type of person that eats outside every day because you're going at work and you don't really feel like cooking, maybe you should reconsider cooking maybe on your day off for the whole week. These little things can add up quickly, and if you have some sort of strategy and a plan and you're fully aware of them, you can definitely save a lot of money, which ultimately is going to help you be more prepared when it comes to recession, just because you can have them as an emergency fund. And basically, I'm not going to really get into a lot of debt in what an emergency fund is, but it's pretty much a fund allocated towards anything emergency that happens when you're saving money. So that way, if there's something that would happen, you would lose your job or a car breaks down, you have some sort of allocated fund to utilize that in regards to paying off, to fix your car or paying off the bills. Normally, a lot of people recommend 3 months. I definitely feel comfortable saving for 12 months, but that's just me. So again, know what your kind of risk tolerance is. It's extremely important as an individual. So that all depends on you. So now that we talked about reducing the spending or variable cost expenses, what about the need or the fixed costs? How do we reduce the amount of spending? Well, for once, if you're the type of individual that like to be fancy when you're eating stuff because you think you need them, maybe you can eat, instead of eating steaks every day or once a week, maybe you can do it once a month. If you have your electricity bill, maybe be more cautious about using the electricity as well. If you have a high bill of $200, $300 a month, maybe you want to either upgrade your system to have better uses of or less consumption of electricity, or you want to change your actual habits in utilizing these electricities, right? So it's about how you use your fixed cost expenses. So for example, if you're the type of person that drives every day or like 3 times a week to try to travel around, and you use gas, a lot of gas, you spend about $200, $300, $400 a month on gas for your car, or even $100. I mean, maybe reduce that to once a week or once in every 2 weeks. So pretty much just try to use ask yourself what are the habits and the things, the opportunities that you can utilize to actually cut down on the spending a little bit on the fixed income. Now, you're not going to have a lot of flexibility on fixed income versus variable income versus which is pretty much your needs versus what you want. That's why I recommend to go with the want first, and once you set that up, then start with going to spend. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like kind of like pissed off about that, because they're going to be like, Haidar, well listen man, like you're just telling me pretty much that I cannot absolutely spend any money on me or take care of myself or entertain myself. I work too hard. That's not what I'm saying. Taking care of yourself is extremely important, and that's why you should dedicate some budget to entertainment or whatever you value for self-care and all that stuff. After all, we work too hard for what we earn, right? But the idea is that, trust me, when you look around, half of the stuff that you have around, most people don't even use anymore, and they don't even need it. So that's the whole idea, is how you can trim down the things that it's eating a lot of your wealth, that you're not necessarily getting any value from it, or you're really not getting entertainment. Please also put in consideration there are some things that are entertainment that you're getting value of, and there's some things that are a waste of time. So these are the things you got to distinguish as an individual, because everybody is different. Like I can tell you, I don't watch Netflix, but a lot of people do. There is some value added to Netflix, and there's useless content, and there's entertainment content, and there's just like time wasters. And I just don't personally watch Netflix. I watch YouTube a lot. So everybody has their own preference. So YouTube is the same thing, right? YouTube is, you could do the same thing as well. So keep that in mind. It's just a personal preference. And then that's why you got to take time to designate to get to learn yourself, so that ultimately will help you save more money. So the next tip I would tell you is create multiple channels for income, right? A lot of us have a full-time job, which is nothing wrong with that, or even if you have a business or you own a business, there's nothing wrong with that either. But don't depend on one source of income, because when the recession hits, we don't know how hard it's going to happen, and what really jobs are going to be impacted. Yeah, sure, there are recession-proof jobs, but it's not guaranteed. So the whole idea is that don't get your source of income from one basket, right? Make sure you have several baskets, you have different channels that you are actually utilizing in order for you to get more source of income, just in case if you lose your job or your business not doing very well, or anything can happen, right? So better to be safe than sorry. Now, keep in mind, this whole strategy relies on finding things that are going to generate passive income, not necessarily to have more labor hours spent. And this is extremely important to understand because we are all limited with the total amount of time that we can actually spend in order for us to gain money. So the whole idea is to put a lot of effort up front to set up something that is going to flow by itself and generate a lot more money for us, or different source of income, which is also related or called as passive income. So I'm going to share with you a couple things in regards to what passive income ideas and how you can actually start doing them, so that way you can get that generated income from different sources, and you can feel a little bit safe when you're going to sleep during the night. Then you wake up to, you're like, oh, okay, so that's not bad that I lost just my job or anything like that. I'm not saying that anybody would want to lose your job, or I wish anybody would lose their job, but the whole idea is that, again, to give you that comfort level to understand that you're getting a lot more different sources of income than just one. So I'm going to share with you my passive income list that I personally have researched, and I'm doing currently a couple of them. And the whole idea, again, is to make sure that we're putting upfront effort so we can get sources of income that is going to work and generate by itself. So when we're sleeping or hanging out with our friends or family, we are getting that source of income that we need, so that way we can satisfy our needs and also be safer and more comfortable, because we'll be feeling a lot more secure. And all I'm going to ask you to do is smash that like button so you can help me support me and my channel to create more content like this. So let's get started on the passive income list. So the first one I will tell you is YouTube, like I'm doing right now. If you have some sort of a knowledge or a skill level that you can utilize and you can think that people can use or be useful to them or add value or entertain them, then go ahead and start doing your YouTube channel. It takes a lot of practice, and by all means, I'm not perfect at it at all, but it's fun and you can actually earn some money later on in lifetime. So another thing as well I would tell you is passive income related topic is podcasting, and this is where you involve getting you some sort of a channel that you're actually talking to people, and you have some sort of build up audience, and maybe later on when you become popular is to get some advertisement, or become an influencer. So another thing I'll tell you is social media influencer, and you'd be surprised how much money you can actually generate just from social media, but the hardest part is what is actually coming up with the followers needed for you to become an influencer. So pick and choose what you're passionate about, what you really like and what you really love, because really, if you look at things from a money perspective, it's really not the ideal thing. I always look at things, how can I add value to people when I'm deciding my next strategy? Because just think about it, I'm doing this YouTube channel here that I actually very passionate about, because I love teaching people what I know, and I'm really not thinking about the money part, because listen, I'm really not getting paid any money right now as we're speaking, so money is not really the main concern here. It's just I want to spread the knowledge as much as I can and help a lot of people as much as I can. So again, I'm not really promoting what my channel is all about here by any means, but I'm just telling you, find a reason, find a passion, find what you really the true driver, because that's gonna get you to keep going on hard times. Another thing too as well is vending machine business. I mean, who doesn't like some snacks, right? So and especially it's good when the recession comes in, because when the recession comes in, it's pretty cheap. A lot of products are not costly at all, and junk food in general, or snacks in general, are researched to make you feel better as an individual for a short time. So all the soda water and Kit Kats and all that, chips and all that stuff, let's be honest for here for a second, not a lot of people are going to stop anytime consuming them, and they're very, very affordable, which makes them very lucrative and makes them very good as a business. Another thing too as well is ATM machine. That can be a little bit tricky when it comes to a recession, because a lot of people are gonna spend less, but again, it's a sort of an idea of halting between ATM machine and a vending machine. The hardest part is finding a local owner of a property where you can convince them whether you can put your vending machine or ATM machine, and you can give them a cut or give her a cut in return. So that's the hardest part. As far as finding the machine, you can go to Facebook Market Share, you can go on eBay, or you can even lease your own machine off of multiple websites. So if you Google vending machine leases, you'll get a lot of websites that can offer that service. Another thing as well to keep in mind, hey, maybe you want to be an author, you want to write your own book, You have a lot of categories, maybe it's fantasy, maybe it's action, romantic, formal, as far as like educating people or for kids. Find what you're really looking forward to do as a passion again, and you can make some money, but it does take upfront a lot of effort because again, nobody knows you and you want to take the time to be consistent in developing this little audience that you have and supporters at the beginning. So in the beginning, anything you do is going to be taking time, so always look at the long term. So another thing too as well, if you want to blog or you want to design a website, again, yes, designing a website or a blog is time consuming, but again, think about it long term, because you see, this whole idea of being a designer or a blogger, you can always scale up to the next level where you can start having sustainable amount of money, and you can hire somebody from a third party to do the work for you, and you can just automate that business. So again, long term will pay off in the future as well. And another one that I have in mind is actually making your courses. This, whether you think you have some knowledge that you can share and you think it's going to add a lot of value and help people out, then why not make it? Why not make your own course, and you can just sell it as well, and you can do seminars and all that fun stuff. So if presentation is the type of thing that you're really passionate about and having to give value to individuals is what your passion is all about, why not just go ahead and do it? And the last final tip I will give you to actually make sure that you're prepped as to the fullest is to expand your knowledge, which is investing in yourself. Very, very important to research right now is take the time to research what to expect from recession and what are the causes and effects of recessions and how you can better manage your money or invest if that's something that you want to do. Again, it's better to understand and know what to expect from something rather than just have it come into you by surprise, because then at that point it's going to be too late and you're going to be panicking, and that's not what we want to do. What we want to do is to be more proactive and make sure you have a limited amount of information, because honestly the sky is the limit when it comes to researching, and then after that you can develop your own plan and then utilize that plan to stick to it, so that way when you're emotional or you have some sort of panicking or being scared or anything like that, you are sticking to your plan and referencing that to your plan. Now when I talk about investing in yourself, that's extremely important, guys. Whether you want to attend seminars, you want to pay for online courses, or maybe read books from credible individuals, you want to make sure that you're taking the time to spend the money on doing that, because it's a return on investment. The more knowledgeable you become now, the better prepped you're going to be when the recession hits, and which is going to either reduce your losses or even make you gain more money. It depends what kind of mentality you are in, right? So every individual is totally different than each other, and everybody has their own goals in life. So it's gonna pay off by itself. Now, if you don't have the money and you don't want to spend money, that's okay. You can go on YouTube and start, looking up other videos like you are looking up mine right now, and hopefully you can get value from that and start developing your knowledge as well. So there's a lot of different ways you can establish that baseline knowledge that you need in order to get the goal or educate yourself further and be more prepared for a recession. Now, if you want or interested in knowing a lot more in regards to this topic because it interests you and you're a firm believer that recession is overdue, is going to come, and you want to make sure that you're fully prepared as much as you can, and whether you want to look into managing your money, budgeting your money, saving money, or even investing your money, I have created a course that I will be posting on the link below on this video, so make sure to check it out. I've worked very hard for the last 2 months, guys, to make sure that it's as simple, as direct as it can possibly be. It's backed up with ton of data, so I'm not gonna just tell you like, oh, this is my personal opinion on all this stuff. And unlike this video, it actually has its own presentation in PowerPoint as well, which I'm gonna be creating even more content and video in that regards of video wise on YouTube. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, you find any value or any tips that would seem to be very useful to you, hit that like button and also subscribe to my channel so you can help me out, guys. Truly appreciate you all, and I look forward to hearing from you and also seeing you again. Take care. Have a nice day.